When you picture a cruise after 60, it feels almost too good to be true. You unpack once, and the ship becomes your moving hotel, gliding you from port to port without the hassle of buses, airports, or lugging suitcases. Mornings start with coffee on the balcony. Evenings end with live jazz or theater. And between the two is everything you've earned after years of hard work. No wonder nearly 1/3 of cruise passengers are over 60. These retirees have turned the seas into their playground. But here's what cruise lines don't put in the glossy brochures. Seniors have access to quiet perks, hidden discounts, and insider treatment that most other guests have no idea even exist. Some are whispered about by seasoned travelers. Others are quietly offered by crew who know how to look after their older passengers. And a few are hidden in plain sight if you know the magic words to ask. These little-known benefits can save you hundreds of dollars, make your trip more relaxing, and in some cases give you experiences no amount of money could buy. And the best part? The biggest perks are often free, but only if you know where to look. So let's dive into the first secret, the one that could change your entire cruise before you even unpack your suitcase. Secret number 1, the silent cabin upgrade seniors rarely hear about. Most guests think the cabin they book is the cabin they'll sleep in, no exceptions. But seniors secretly have a higher chance of being placed in better rooms without ever requesting it. Imagine paying for the cheapest interior cabin, only to be handed keys to a midship room steps from the elevators or dining hall. Sometimes that ocean view you paid for mysteriously becomes a balcony or a cabin with less hallway noise. Cruise lines don't broadcast this because it's not guaranteed. It's often reserved for loyal or repeat passengers. One woman in her 70s revealed that she books the cheapest option every time and still ends up with an upgrade more often than not. The trick is, when you book, note any mobility needs or preferences, even casually. Staff often use this as a reason to quietly shift seniors into more convenient locations. It's one of those cases where asking nicely or simply letting them know can make all the difference. And once you've stepped into that upgraded room, your next big win could happen before you even finish boarding. Secret number 2, priority boarding and exit that saves seniors out. Boarding day can feel like chaos. Long lines, crowded terminals, and the mad dash to be first on board. But what most seniors don't realize is that they're often waved into quieter, shorter priority lines that cut hours off the wait. Picture an older couple dragging carry-ons through the terminal, bracing themselves for a long shuffle only to be directed into a VIP-style lane and on the ship within minutes. And it doesn't stop there. At the end of the cruise, when thousands of passengers crowd staircases and hallways, seniors are often quietly offered early exit to spare them the endless waiting. This perk isn't guaranteed at every port, and sometimes it depends on the kindness of the staff. That's why it pays to ask politely whether there's a less strenuous option. 9 times out of 10, their island. And while this benefit gets you on and off the ship faster, the real stress relief begins with the thing seniors worry about most, their luggage. Secret number 3, the hidden luggage help that makes transfers seamless. For most passengers, boarding day means hoping your suitcase survives the chaos and actually finds your cabin. But seniors often enjoy unspoken, behind-the-scenes help that makes the whole process painless. Crew might load their bags first, rush them through the system, or even personally guide them past bottlenecks. One traveler described walking into her cabin to find her suitcase already waiting while everyone else on her deck was still hunting for theirs. She hadn't asked for special treatment. The crew just noticed her age and stepped in. Here's the catch. This isn't an official service. It happens because staff members see someone who might need help and act. That's why asking for assistance, even casually, can save you the hassle of lugging heavy bags or waiting around for hours. And once your luggage is settled, the next secret can literally take the weight off your shoulders, especially if mobility suddenly becomes an issue mid-cruise. Secret number 4, free mobility aid loans that aren't in the brochure. Every brochure will tell you wheelchairs and scooters are available for rent at daily rates that add up fast. What they don't tell you is that if you suddenly need mobility help, it's often quietly provided for free. Imagine twisting your knee on the pool deck. Within minutes, guest services can have a wheelchair waiting, and you're allowed to keep it for the rest of your voyage. No charge, no fuss. It's not advertised, but it's surprisingly common. Of course, this doesn't replace planned rentals. If you know you'll need a scooter for the week, you'll still need to book and pay in advance. But if something unexpected happens, medical staff and guest services are quick to act and rarely bill for it. And once your mobility is back, you'll see that the next discount goes beyond walking. It brings concierge-level service into your daily cruise life without the concierge price. Secret number 5, concierge-level service. without the concierge price. Luxury cruisers pay thousands extra for butlers who manage every detail of their trip. But here's the thing most seniors don't realize. A softer version of that service often comes free. Crew are trained to notice when older guests might need an extra hand and they quietly step in. That might mean a waiter reserving your favorite table by the window every night, a staff member helping you book a hard-to-get shore excursion, or even someone taking the time to walk you through the ship's app when the tech feels overwhelming. One solo traveler in her late 70s shared that a server secretly kept her corner table for the entire cruise without her ever requesting it. That kind of attention isn't advertised and it's not automatic, but it often shows up when you're polite, friendly, and open about what makes you comfortable. And once you see how far the staff can go to make you feel at home, you'll be amazed at what happens when you step into the dining room itself. Secret number 6. Dining time secrets that put seniors at the best tables. Dinner in the main dining room can feel like a buzzing banquet hall. Hundreds of voices, clinking glasses, and waiters weaving between tables. But seniors often discover something different. They're quietly placed at less noisy tables, near windows with views, or at early dining slots where service feels less rushed. Some even find themselves seated with peers of similar age or interests, turning dinner into a social highlight instead of a noisy scramble. One widow recalled how she was always shown to the same window seat night after night, without ever having to fight for it. The secret? Don't wait for a chance. Check in with the maitre d' as soon as you board and let them know your preferences. More often than not, they'll honor it, sometimes for the entire voyage. And if you think that's thoughtful, wait until you see how far the chefs will go to make meals feel like they were prepared just for you. Secret number 7. Personalized meals that go beyond gluten? Free. Most passengers glance at the menu and assume those are the only options. But for seniors, the kitchen often becomes a behind-the-scenes safety net. If you need food with less salt, softer textures, or familiar comfort meals from home, chefs will quietly make them happen. One cruiser said the chef prepared her favorite chicken soup every single night because it was easier for her to eat than heavy entrees. Another guest had low-sodium meals created off-menu for his heart condition. None of this was printed, promoted, or publicized. It was all done quietly once the staff knew what was needed. The secret is to tell them. They won't guess. But once they know, they'll often bend over backwards to make your dining experience stress-free. And while the dining room can customize your meals, another department on board is customizing something far more important: your health. Secret number 8. Extra medical attention that brings peace of mind. Every ship has a medical center, but what seniors discover is that care often extends beyond the clinic. Even after a minor visit, say for dizziness or a sore ankle, medical staff may check in later at your cabin just to make sure you're still okay. One gentleman with a heart condition said the ship's nurse stopped by his room twice after his initial checkup, completely unprompted. That kind of personal follow-up is rarely extended to younger passengers. Here's the catch: it's still a clinic at sea, not a full hospital. Serious emergencies mean evacuation to shore, but by disclosing your health conditions at the start, staff know what to look out for and can consistently keep an eye on you. And when it comes to looking out for seniors, the same discreet care continues well beyond the ship, straight into the world of shore excursions. Secret number 9. Priority shore excursion perks that aren't advertised. Exploring new ports is one of the best parts of cruising, but it can be exhausting. Long lines, fast-paced walking tours, crowded buses. It's enough to leave anyone drained. Seniors, however, often get secret courtesies that make shore days far easier. This usually means staff guiding you to the front of the line, securing an aisle seat on the bus, or nudging the tour guide to schedule more rest stops in shaded areas. One couple recalled how a crew member personally placed them on an early tender boat, sparing them the wait in a crowded lounge. The guide even adjusted the tour route to include benches without skipping a single attraction. Note that none of this is guaranteed, but if you stop by the excursions desk the day before and calmly mention mobility concerns like stairs, balance, or walking pace, you'll often find the staff surprisingly accommodating. And once you return on board, the same thoughtful treatment shows up again in the special programs. Secret number 10. Exclusive enrichment programs designed for seniors. Most cruise brochures are very vocal about pool games, karaoke, and late-night dance parties. What they whisper about, if at all, are the enrichment programs designed for passengers who want something more meaningful. Hidden in the daily planner, you'll often find lectures on history, art, culture, or even gentle tech workshops that walk you step by step through apps and smartphones. These programs rarely get front-page attention, but for seniors, they can be the highlight of the trip. One guest describes stumbling into a daily lecture series on ancient ancient civilizations tucked away in a lounge. It became the best part of his voyage, both for the knowledge gained and the friendships formed with like-minded travelers. So next time, comb through the daily planner carefully, because the real gems are often buried in the fine print. And speaking of gems, let's talk about how seniors quietly land the best theater seats on board. Secret number 11. The theater seating advantage seniors don't notice. Evenings at sea mean packed theaters and shows that fill up fast. Many passengers jostle for a good view, but seniors often find themselves guided to better seating without ever asking. Ushers quietly direct them to roped-off rows, easy access aisles, or calm spots with perfect sightline. One woman traveling alone thought she'd missed her chance when she arrived late to a full house. Instead, an usher led her straight to a reserved row with one of the best views in the theater. That single act transformed her night. The trick is, don't barrel in last minute. Arrive a little early, make eye contact with the usher, and politely ask if there are seats with easier access. More often than not, you'll be pleasantly surprised. And while better seats are nice, the next secret perk touches something deeper than food or entertainment. It's about connection. Secret number 12. Gentlemen hosts and social companions for seniors. For many retirees, cruising isn't just about destinations, it's about companionship. And on some premium or luxury cruise lines, seniors may benefit from programs that aren't openly advertised. Gentlemen hosts or social companions. These are carefully selected partners who join older guests for ballroom dancing, bridge games, or simply conversation over cocktails. They're not staff in uniforms, they're companions whose job is to make sure no one feels left out. One couple in their late 70s hesitated to join a daily bridge game because they lacked a fourth player. After mentioning it discreetly to the cruise director, they were paired with a gentleman host who played with them every afternoon. That small accommodation ended up becoming the highlight of their voyage. While these programs aren't found on every ship, asking the cruise director early in your trip can reveal opportunities most passengers never hear about. The last but not the least secret is about loyalty. Secret number 13. Unlisted loyalty perks for seniors who've sailed before. Most people know cruise lines have loyalty programs, but what they don't realize is that seniors sometimes get an extra layer of perks that aren't advertised in glossy brochures. It could be a complimentary laundry bag slipped quietly into your cabin, an invite-only cocktail reception, or even early boarding privileges that save you from long embarkation lines. These benefits aren't always tied to your tier in the program. They're sometimes given at the crew's discretion, especially when they notice returning older passengers. One retired couple sailing for their 4th time with the same line found themselves invited to a private wine tasting event, even though their loyalty status technically wasn't high enough. When they asked why, the staff simply smiled and said, "We like to take care of our regulars." The takeaway is to always mention your past cruises when you check in. A quiet word at the loyalty desk can unlock perks other passengers don't even know exist. And there you have it. 13 senior cruise discounts and perks that cruise lines rarely advertise but secretly offer. They're not flashy or headline grabbing, but they're often the little touches that transform a good vacation into a great one. From silent cabin upgrades to secret concierge-style service, from personalized dining to gentleman hosts, these hidden benefits are scattered all over the ship if you know how and when to ask. So, which of these surprised you the most? Was it the priority theater seating, the extra medical care, the loyalty perks, or the unspoken cabin upgrades? Drop your thoughts in the comments. We'd love to hear your cruise stories. And if you found this helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with a friend who's planning their next voyage. After all, the seas are full of secrets, and now you know 13 of the best ones.